Okay, guys, I am going to talk to you about something I came across in one of the activist groups this morning. Um, Actually, I'll read it, but I'm not going to obviously read the name. Um, Hang on. All right, hang on. I'm trying to get it. There we go. Okay, she wrote, I'm an anti-Trump Republican. Now remember, this was in one of the activist groups. I'm an anti-Trump Republican, so I call that old school Republican. I think Dems would be more successful if they'd back off from identity politics, which, let's face it, fueled and sustains Trumpism, and focuses on positive messaging, global citizenship, protecting the freedoms of a democratic republic, and advocating personal accountability. Moderate Republicans would gladly, capital letters, join forces with moderate Dems to beat down totalitarianism. Well, first, we've tried stuff like that when this all started 10 years ago. Yeah, we see how that worked. I made a very long response. In fact, let me read it to you. Okay, so I answered, but there was a lot of answers. Some agreeing, some not. Now remember, this is on an activist, anti, fascist group. Okay, and so first of all, ma'am, I'm not going to mention your name, but very, very courageous. First of all, and that's why I started the response with what I did. Very courageous to come and say we would. However, there was a lot of people that made a lot of good points. This was just my point. I'm not trying to be a jerk, honestly, but non-Trump Republicans can also give a little to meet with compromising with progressive liberals. You old school Republicans, meaning anti-Trumpers, don't want to be associated with Democrats, and or you'd change your party, and don't want your Republican friends or family know you're working with Democrats. So expect us to bend over backwards to accommodate your political beliefs, policies, so it looks okay to them. But it is your party that has caused all of this, and liberals have questioned why the Republican Party allowed MAGA to take over your party, not ours, for 10 years, and Republicans have meekly sat by saying, oh no, please stop, and doing nothing to stop them yourselves. Your party could have expelled nuts like MTG and Boebert and Gates, and should I continue? How about Republicans should have been called out by your own party when they reversed course about January 6th, 9 years ago? Your party couldn't have not accepted Donald as your candidate again, but you all allowed it without barely a peep. Don't blame progressive liberals for the failing for you by your own party. I'm just saying that old school Republicans still hold the you come to compromise with us, we won't come to you attitude, and sit in judgment of what Democrats could do to make you feel more okay with working with Democrats. It is not all Democrat, liberal, progressives' job to make you feel comfortable with calling your own party the corrupt party as it is. I'm just saying. So basically, you're saying you know your party is decimating not only America but the planet, but your pride is keeping you from doing what you know is correct, moral, and altruistic, and start bashing your party instead of bashing the party trying to fix what your party caused. The party who warned your party of what could happen per history. Now you're telling us we should be more congenial to you, and we'd get your vote. You should be doing it Because it's right. It's correct. Republicans don't want to use their judgment of Dems the same way on their Republican buddies. And every Republican who continues to be silent towards their party is part of the problem. Truth and facts don't care about your fifis, as your party told us years ago. And I'm not trying to be snarky or obnoxious. I'm just stating the facts. And I see that a lot with anti-Trump Republicans. They're very quick to say, no, I'm not part of them. I'm the other Republicans. But you're not that quick to say, no, I don't agree with them on everything. But yeah, there are some things you're very slow to say that. You're very slow to criticize your own party, which, by the way, is the party causing all the drama and trauma. It's like telling a rape victim, you really should try to understand the rapist's point of view and what caused him to do that a little more, instead of complaining that you were raped. That's kind of what it is. It's fucking gaslighting and not wanting to take the publicness of you saying something against the Republicans as a Republican. You sat and watched Kinzinger and Warren deal with this on a massive public scale, and your little hurt fifi butt can't do it on your own minimal scale. So you think because you don't publicly continue to agree with your party that it's obvious that I don't agree with it. No, it's not, because you're still calling yourself a Republican. You could become an independent, You could do that. The only reason you have to be either a Democrat or Republican is to work on the elections, and that's for a reason. So there's equalness. Because if there was three main parties consistently, it would be one of the three. So if you don't work the elections, there is no reason, other than externally what other people might say, if you stop being a Republican and become an independent. You could do that. You could say, I've changed to independent. You could say that. You don't even do that. You remain as a Republican, probably voting Republican ticket, and say, well, I don't agree with some of the things they're doing. Well, you're not opening your mouth saying you don't agree with it publicly, which is what it needs. And that's what this time needs. There is no way we can squelch it now because you Republicans refused to address it 10 effing years ago. You put shit off like you always do, and now the situation is so unmanageable, you're all going, what am I supposed to do? I'm just one little person. You weren't just one little person 10 years ago when this shit started, were you? Most of you thought he was nuts. Why the fuck did you allow him to run? And why did you allow him to run the second time? And why, if you don't agree with any of that, are you still registered as a Republican? So, I'm sorry, ma'am, but saying that, if Dems would, work a little with us, your party is the one fucking everything up. I think you should be willing to work with us, not us willing to work with somebody who supported a party that is causing all of this. Where do you come off acting, well, if Democrats wouldn't be so political about everything, maybe we would join them. Maybe if your party and you guys didn't allow that to happen to your party, none of us would be dealing with it now, would we? So try to be a little more look in the effing mirror when you're criticizing Dems Republicans that don't agree with Trump. And explain to me why you're still a Republican. Have you changed? And like I said, you don't have to change to the evil dark party that you so think Democrats are. I'm not saying there's no corruption and wrongness, but who's wronger? Who's more wrong? And why are you still associated with them? Because if you're still registered as a Republican, that means you are one of them. Just saying.